We don't think about bridges very often, but they are literally the arteries of our modern world, these silent workhorses we depend on every single day. The problem is they're aging, and the way we check up on them is, frankly, dangerously old-fashioned. So let's dive into how we can give our most critical infrastructure the 21st century checkup it so desperately needs.
I mean, really think about it for a second. They carry our cars, our trains, our supply chains. They connect entire communities over rivers and valleys. They are so fundamental to how we live that most of the time, we just completely take their steady, silent service for granted.
And that's the scary part, right? The consequences are just catastrophic. Back in 2020, the Capriglioia Bridge in Italy just collapsed. It was a shocking reminder that these structures we rely on are incredibly vulnerable. The real issue is that serious damage can pop up and get worse in between those scheduled inspections, leaving us totally blind to a disaster that's just waiting to happen.
So this really gets to the heart of the problem. It's the old way versus the new way. The old way is sending inspectors out every couple of years. It's slow, it's expensive, and most importantly, it's reactive. We're just fixing problems after they've already happened. The new way, the one we're going to talk about, is all about being constant, automated, and proactive, catching those tiny issues the second they start.
So the big question is, how do we actually make that leap? How do we go from being reactive to being proactive? Well, it's a really cool story of technological evolution, moving away from physical blueprints and clipboards to these living, breathing digital models.
For the longest time, it was all about manual inspections. People physically on the bridge looking for cracks. Then we took a huge step forward with something called Bridge Information Modeling, or BRIM for short. But the real game changer, the final step in this evolution, is the digital twin.
Okay, so a BRIM is basically a super detailed digital blueprint. It's a 3D model that's packed with all sorts of data, what materials were used, every inspection report, you name it. And it's incredibly useful, but it's got one massive limitation. It's a snapshot in time. It's a photograph. It has no idea what's happening on the actual physical bridge right now. And this is where things get really cool. A digital twin isn't just a static model. It's a living, dynamic copy. It's constantly synced up with the real bridge, sending data back and forth. So think of it this way. BIM is like your annual checkup at the doctor's office. The digital twin? That's like a 24/7 fitness tracker, monitoring every little vibration and strain in real time.
Okay, but that brings up a pretty important question, right? If this digital model is a living thing, how does it actually feel the vibrations from traffic or sense the stress from a huge gust of wind? How does it see a tiny crack starting to form? Well, turns out it has a whole set of superhuman senses.
The digital twin is fed this constant stream of information from an amazing array of tech. Drones act as its eyes in the sky, building these incredibly detailed 3D models. Ground-penetrating radar gives it X-ray vision to see right through the concrete. Laser scanners map every single millimeter of the surface. And a whole network of sensors acts like a nervous system, feeling every little tremor and strain.
Now this all sounds pretty perfect, doesn't it? We've got the living model, we've got these superhuman senses, but there's a problem. A huge one, actually. The way we're building digital twins today, they're collecting mountains of data, but they're missing one absolutely critical component.
Check this out. Researchers at Western Sydney University dug into more than 480 recent studies on this stuff, and what they found is kind of shocking. The vast majority of all the research, a whopping 85%, is focused on just building the models and collecting the data. And the part about what to actually do with that information, that gets a tiny, tiny 3% of the attention.
And don't just take my word for it. The researchers themselves put it bluntly, saying that intelligent decision support models have not been properly considered. What that really means is, we've built the body of the digital twin, but we completely forgot to give it a brain.
Let's go back to our fitness tracker analogy for a sec. It's like having a device that tracks thousands of data points, your heart rate, sleep patterns, everything. But it gives you zero advice. It tells you something's off, but it has no idea whether you should see a doctor, maybe change your diet, or just, get a bit more sleep.
So this is the exact gap that this new research is trying to fill. The authors have proposed a solution, an evolved framework that's designed to build a smarter bridge by finally giving the digital twin the brain it so desperately needs.
So let's just quickly walk through this new setup. Layers 1, 2, and 3, that's the stuff we're already pretty good at. Collecting the data, moving it around, and building the twin itself. But look there at layer 4, intelligent decision support. That is the revolutionary new piece. That's the brain we've been talking about.
This Decision Support System, or DSS, is the real game changer. It's an AI-powered engine that doesn't just collect data, it actually understands it. It spots trends, it predicts failures, and it gives engineers clear, actionable advice. Like, hey, you need to repair Section C in the next 30 days. Or, traffic loads on this girder are way too high, recommend an immediate inspection. It turns all that raw data into actual decisions.
And this isn't just some abstract academic idea. Putting a brain like this into our infrastructure has huge, real-world consequences for every single one of us.
So, what's the bottom line? Well, it means safer bridges for one, because we can prevent failures before they even have a chance to happen. It means smarter cities that can manage their resources way more efficiently. It means we finally make the shift from doing expensive reactive repairs to doing smart, proactive ones. And at the end of the day, that saves taxpayer money, and most importantly, it saves lives.
So we're right on the edge of creating bridges that can tell us when they're hurting and exactly what they need to stay healthy. And it leaves you with this really fascinating question, right? If we can build a truly intelligent, self-monitoring bridge, what else can we bring to life? Our power grids? Our water systems? What about our entire cities?